Hi, I'm Kirsten from Cox Communications, and welcome to Community Connection. This show highlights local organizations and leaders that contribute to our healthy and vibrant community. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
"1% for the Planet" created the Blue Crew for people just like you. People who want to join businesses like Honest Tea and Clean Canteen in showing their love for our big blue planet. And you can join at whatever level suits you. You may only be one person, but we only have one planet. And if we all come together, we can make one a really big number, and that can make a huge difference. Join the Blue Crew today at 1%fortheplanet.org, because blue needs you.
Hi, I'm Kirsten McLaughlin, Market Vice President for Cox Communications, and this is Community Connection. Today we're here with the United Boys and Girls Club, Michael Baker, CEO, and Melissa Goff, board member. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here today. Why don't you start, Michael, by telling us a little bit about the United Boys and Girls Club?
Well, thank you again for all your support, Cox Communications. You guys have been awesome for the Boys and Girls Clubs. We appreciate that. The Boys and Girls Clubs, we're situated, we have a club in Carpinteria, Lompoc, Goleta, west side of Santa Barbara, Campus Point at UCSB campus, Camp Whittier, which is on Highway 154, many people may know that campsite as well. And we have 3 after-school sites, and we serve about 3,200 members a year.
Wow. And Melissa, tell us a little bit about being on the board.
Well, it's actually my second time around. I was on the board, it must have been about 15 years ago, and after several years went off, but I came back in again. I felt inspired by some changes that were happening within the organization, and it was time to reinvest my skill set, I'd say, and my heart into the organization that I remembered so fondly. And when Michael came on, it was even better.
She's a tremendous board member. Tremendous.
So I know Cox Communications has a large national partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of America, and partly because of everything you all do to invest in the youth in our community. And really, from our perspective, that's a lot about enabling our young folks with the skills they need to succeed in the real world. You know, STEM training and computer labs, etc. We have our Cox Tech Centers at your facilities. So if you could each tell our viewers a little bit about your favorite parts of what the Boys and Girls Club does for the students.
Well, for me, my favorite part of the day, and I try to get into as many of our clubs on a daily basis as I can, for me it's all about the connection that the children have with the staff on a daily basis and the volunteers that come. There's nothing more magical than when you walk into a Boys and Girls Club and you see the way that the children look at the staff, and then to see them in an environment where they're surrounded by these caring adult role models that interact with them on a daily basis with the sole purpose of trying to make sure that that child succeeds in life with a goal to, to graduate high school on time with a plan for the future. So, I mean, it's a beautiful, I say all the time, I love my job. I love Mondays, I love everything about it. I love my work.
Melissa, what about you?
Well, I find my most exciting moments come when I see the numbers growing in the different clubs. We as board members tend to stay at the 20,000-foot level a little bit. Michael's boots on the ground every single day. And so when we see the number of kids that are attending each club, that are going to the evening dinners, the meals that we provide, going on the weekends, and they're growing exponentially from one year to the next, 20 members a day average to 200 members a day average. And I think, gosh, we're really doing something. We're really impacting these kids. And as a board member, I feel kind of validated because I know there's so much that we need to do in the community. I never grew up wanting for housing or food or education. I grew up in a fairly privileged manner. And it's kind of like social responsibility that I feel that if you have not experienced hunger, poverty, violence, you need to give back to that community and help those that might have. And like I said, just seeing the numbers of kids growing at these clubs really makes me feel so good that we're doing something right.
Right.
I told you she's an awesome board member. Did I tell you that?
So, Michael, tell us a little bit about the various programs that the clubs offer.
Well, first and foremost, the children have to get their homework done at the Boys and Girls Club. One of the things, again, I've been doing this quite a long time, about 28 years of Boys and Girls Club work, and this is by far the best move I ever made was coming here, Santa Barbara County, the best move I made. And one of the things that we do on a daily basis, we make sure that the children, they have to get their homework done at the Boys and Girls Club. Education is such a critical component to the success of these children that we're dealing with. And for the most part, for a long time, it wasn't a major emphasis at Boys and Girls Clubs across the country. And what we realized is during the recession, those kids fell further and further behind, especially when you're talking about the kids that really need the Boys and Girls Club that come from more challenging circumstances. So we as the Boys and Girls Club feel that we have an obligation to not only work with the schools, but work with the parents and everybody else to make sure that that child that comes to the Boys and Girls Club is on track to graduate in time with a plan for the future that includes either going into the military, going into the workforce immediately, going to a trade school, or going to a university. But everybody needs to have a plan.
That's fantastic. So in our final moment, what closing thoughts would you like to share with our audience about the Boys and Girls Club?
Melissa, go ahead.
Well, I'll start, because if it were me watching this, I would say, well, I've been thinking about being on a board, so how do you do that? What do you do? Well, the first thing you would do is you would contact United Boys and Girls Club. Second thing you probably should do is talk to not only Michael Baker, but also talk to other board members, because each one of us has our own time, talent, treasure, whatever it is, that we devote to the organization. So we each touch the organization a little bit differently. So if I were interested in becoming a member of the board, then that's exactly what I would do.
Thank you. Michael?
I would take you on a tour. There's no better selling point of the Boys and Girls Club than going and see what we do every single day. And you see where the rubber hits the road, if you will. And I love taking people on tours, and I know that I have yet to have somebody go on a tour of any of our facilities and see what we're doing. Never has it happened in my 28-year career where someone walked out and goes, you know, I just don't agree with what you guys are doing. I just think it's wrong. Everybody walks out saying, this is awesome. How can I help? So if someone's definitely wanting to get involved in the Boys and Girls Club, the board avenue is fantastic. They're looking to support the Boys and Girls Club. They certainly can go to our website, unitedbg.org, or they can go on a tour, and they can reach me at the main office at 681-1315. Take them on a tour.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
And thank you. Until next time, this is Community Connection.
Backbeat, a show highlighting people that make a difference using music in our very own community.
Hi, I'm Kirsten McLaughlin, Market Vice President for Cox Communications, and this is Community Connection. Today we continue with the United Boys and Girls Club. We have Christy Newton on staff and Virgil Elings, a donor. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today to continue our ongoing conversation about the great work the United Boys and Girls Club is doing. Christy, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the Make a Difference campaign and all the great impact it's having on the various clubs.
Thank you. We're so thrilled. We are really working hard to make it easy for companies and individuals to support our mission, which is to help all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential. So it's a really important mission, and our Make a Difference campaign is an annual initiative that just presents what we do and makes it as easy as possible for companies to structure a year-round partnership with us. And that's really how we think about it, as a partnership. We are a community asset, and the more that we can bring people in as our supporters, the better we'll be able to help these kids to have a great future.
Well, we appreciate that. As a longtime technology sponsor, Cox Communications loves the Make a Difference campaign and is so glad to see you get off to such a great start.
Well, thank you for being our inaugural sponsor. We're so grateful. We appreciate it.
Virgil, why is the United Boys and Girls Club so important to this community?
Well, I think back over when I grew up in the 50s in Iowa, a lot of my activities were outside of school and outside of the home. And they were very important, actually. I had a job as a paper carrier, which I started in grade school. We could take money from that and spend it at the hobby store. Well, these things are gone now. You haven't seen an 11-year-old carry your paper lately, and you haven't seen a hobby store lately. I had a couple of mentors when I grew up. One was Fritz. Fritz was just a little bit older than me, did everything. Crystal radios, this and that, and I would just tag along and try and keep up with Fritz. We did stuff at his home, and his mother was supportive of everything, and so in some sense that was my boys club. Fritz and I would do stuff at Fritz's house, and we had somebody there who thought everything we did was great.
Right.
The other mentor was Wes's dad. Wes's dad loved to help kids, and when we had motorcycles, we'd go to Wes's dad's garage, and he was oh so helpful. We thought he was the smartest guy in the world. He must be a mechanic. Turns out, in retrospect, he wasn't. He was a salesman, but we thought he. So it didn't make any difference because he wanted to help, and we had a place where we could work, and the kids could work together. So I think that's like the Boys Club, is a place to do stuff, working with other kids, and some people who care, who are running it. And I think kids need that now. I think even missing things like the paper route and stuff, they need it even more. There aren't things you can do like that. So my idea is to save a life, and save a life means that you can redirect somebody to make their life better than what it's going to be. At the university, I would have great hopes of doing that, but at the university level, it's hard. People have already set their direction, so it's hard to change that direction. I think if you take young children who haven't set their direction and who are somewhat pliable in their direction, you can really change a life. And so the idea is this money would help change lives.
That's fantastic.
So that's why I do it.
So Christy, can you tell us a little bit about what might be on the horizon for the United Boys and Girls Club?
Absolutely. Well, with Virgil's help, I have to give Virgil tremendous credit. He was our largest individual donor last year, made a tremendous investment. And as a result, we're in a mode of growth. You know, we are committed to reaching as many kids as possible. And with Virgil's help, we're reaching more kids more often with deeper impact. We have some phenomenal activities to help the community to get involved with us. We have our spring rally for kids, and we have our fall gala, which both present fabulous opportunities for the community, if you don't know what we do, to come to a fun activity and learn more. But I would really offer that coming to any one of our clubs and just seeing with your own eyes what Virgil's seen, what I've seen, and that gives me such great honor and pride in being part of this organization, is we truly are saving lives. We truly are. These children are, they are so nourished by their experience at the club and the adults that surround them and tell them, yes, you can be whatever you choose to be, and that's a tremendous gift. So I'd welcome the community to come in and take a look.
Absolutely, that is a tremendous gift. And as we wrap up, I do want to thank you both for all your hard work and your commitment to the United Boys and Girls Club, because as Christy said, people are changing each other's lives there, so thank you.
You bet.
And thank you for being here today. What a great honor.
It's been great talking with you. Thank you so much.
And thank you. Now we're going to watch a short video about Cox's Tech Center at the United Boys and Girls Club and how it's changing people's lives every day.
Unfortunately, most of the children that we deal with do not have technology in the home. A lot of them come from low-income families. And we here at the Boys and Girls Club, and why we're so thrilled with the partnership with Cox, is that it levels the playing field for the children that we serve.
Without community partners like Cox, that resources like we've gotten here would not be possible. I think it is crucial, especially for developing kids in our local Goleta community.
It's incredibly important for them to learn hands-on with the type of equipment that they might use in the workplace later, or that they really want to use now.
Every career you need those skills, and we want to get our kids that access early on, and for us it's just really important for our kids to have the access.
Most of my kids require computer access on an everyday basis, and so having this here every day is important for me.
At
Cox, we fully support the club's mission to empower and enrich our young learners. The tech centers are just one piece of that great partnership.
By working with so many different types of businesses within the community, we really get to see firsthand the importance of technology in the workplace.
I feel it's important for supporters like Cox because most of the kids in this particular area don't have easy access to internet, and having a learning center like this, it just helps them improve.
Gosh, I would love to see technology not just in our lab, but throughout the club.
For me, I hope that it grows more so all the kids have more access to the technology and access to the World Wide Web.
The best thing is that you can work on projects. It can help you with homework like history.
We at the Boys and Girls Club are going to do everything we can, and thanks to Cox Communications, we're able to be in the forefront of that cutting edge technology. And these kids coming in here today have a tremendous technology center. We didn't have this before. And I can tell you that every day this room is packed.
Hi, I'm Kirsten McLaughlin, Market Vice President of Cox Communications, and this is Community Connection. Today we have Sal Rodriguez and Erica Salda here from the United Boys and Girls Club. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
We brought you a cake. Hope you like it.
Thank you for the cake. I'm sure it's amazing.
It's pretty good, actually.
So you two are both alumni of the club, and we're going to talk a little bit about alumni and how they can get involved. But Sal, I'd like to start with you because you have a much longer history with the club. Can you tell our viewers some about all the different aspects the club has played in your life?
You know, my family moved to Santa Barbara in 1955, and I became a member of the Santa Barbara Club. The membership fee was 50 cents. 1956, moved to Goleta, and at Goleta, I joined the club out in the airport. And I never left Goleta. I got hired on when I was in high school to referee basketball games. I went from basketball games, and then when I went off to college, I graduated and I came back and they hired me as the athletic director. And then I got drafted. I came back in 1970. They offered me the job again. So 1970 to 1995, I was a unit director. And in 1995, I took over the CEO and I retired in 2008. But what I want to say is George Cellini was the executive director, and he gathered a bunch of kids in the library and talked about going to college. Well, none of us knew what he was talking about. And he says, you guys can go and you guys can do anything you want to do. And that sort of stuck in my mind. And this is back in 1956. So I was on one of the group that followed through on that, and I got through all because of the executive director saying you guys can go to college. So that was kind of cool. I never left. I've been involved since 1955.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a good journey. Been a lot of fun.
And Erica, how did you get involved with the club?
Oh, that was probably one of the greatest days of my life is showing up at a barbecue and meeting Sal. It was right after I graduated from Westmont, and he had heard that I was athletic, and I played a little bit of ball at Westmont, played some soccer. And he asked if I would, I've had some time. I was building an insurance practice at the time. My office was 5730 Hollister Avenue, so I was Old Town Goleta. So I was a door knocker for 19 years. And it was great because you're doing mailers and talking to people about insurance, and I had a place to go, so I coached a lot of teams and he taught me everything, and I didn't see a lot of women. I don't know if I was the first, I'm not going to say that, but there weren't a lot of female coaches, and he always had my back, and I played to win, and the kids were great and I loved it, and it was a home for me. I didn't have children until my 30s. And then when my kids got big enough, Sal started a kindergarten league, I guess, with Bo. And then so when my son, how old is Bo, 26?
26.
Okay, mine's 24. So when my son got to be, actually, well, the truth is my kids weren't even old enough to be in the kindergarten league, so they were 4, but he let me put them in there. So basically I had the same team And a little shout out to Sharon Terry. So our boys were the same age. So I took St. Ray Fields teams, and I took both of my boys all the way to 8th grade. So we did every single tournament, anything he did, the Valentine's Classic, we participated. So it truly, it was a home. I mean, it was my second home. And Sal's been, I don't know, I always fool around because he has this big harem and of women around him. You know, we're all like moms. So I think we all have like daddy issues or something. I don't know, but we love Sal. So yeah, and he's a very good friend. I'm really proud to call him my friend.
So what would the two of you tell other alumni who are interested in getting involved with the United Boys and Girls Club?
I think you look at the experiences you had by being a member of the club and the people you met. It's always been positive. Now when you're in a position to give back, come back and give the kids now the same experience that you had when you were a kid. And that's what it's all about. You know, I walk all over town, Goleta, Santa Barbara, and I always run into somebody that I worked with, and that's pretty cool. I have a donor base of about 650 kids that I work with. They're not kids anymore, they're in their 50s. Wow. And I always ask them, okay, now's the time to pay up. All the stuff, all the time that I spent with you guys, we need your help. Come and help some of the kids here in Goleta, Santa Barbara. So.
Anything to add?
Sal's Alumni Club, it's a hoot. I mean, back in the 80s when we would get together, if somebody was thirsty, he would say, go outside, there's a hose. But actually now that they're feeding us, you know, so it's nice. So if you've ever been part of the club, call Sal, and we need you. I mean, give back, because the feeling and the experience of it is tenfold. For me, both of my kids are out of the house now, and I just have a lot of time. And the bottom line, and Michael Baker has said this the best, 60% of our Santa Barbara County youth are on or below the poverty level. That's not okay. That's wrong. So it's not the United Boys and Girls Club's job, per se, you know, to feed everybody, but they're doing a great job. You might want to talk about that. We're helping in so many different ways. So if you want to know what we're doing, because it's grown so much in the last year, call up and get a, you know, walk around and see what we're doing. Call Sal.
Sal, any final thoughts as we wrap up our final moment?
You know, we started our Alumni Club Association. We had our first meeting on actually last month. Our next meeting is going to be on April 20th at the Goleta Boys and Girls Club, and we had 45 people show up, and we're trying to increase the numbers and just to give back to the community, because we do a lot of good work and we save a lot of kids' lives.
Yeah.
We need your help.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. Thank you both for being here, and thank you for everything you're doing through the United Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Nice to meet
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you. Until next time.
Hey, babe. So your friend needs a little help after school, huh?
Please give it back, Todd.
Here, how about you tell him no? Because I'm your only friend. Isn't your boyfriend?
He just needs help.
Are you listening to me? Seriously, you would be nothing without me. Nothing.
But he's just a friend.
What? Do you remember these pictures? Do you want to see them on the internet?
Cut. Back to one.
Don't make this real.
Take charge.
Stop the bullying.
Teen violence is bullying. Find out more about cyberbullying and take charge.
Hi, I'm Kirsten McLaughlin, Market Vice President for Cox Communications, and this is Community Connection. Today we have Jamie Collins and Ben Medell from the United Boys and Girls Club. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. Jamie, why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about your role with the Boys and Girls Club?
All right, so my role is newer. I've been the Vice President of Operations for about 6 months. And my role is generally just to kind of oversee the day-to-day operations of the clubs and support the programs and the club directors in whatever way necessary.
And Ben, why don't you tell us about your experience at the Boys and Girls Club?
I've been going to the Teen Center since about 6th grade, and I've just gone there to do homework, and I've been more independent from doing those things.
And you go to the Carpinteria Club, correct?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the club?
Hanging out with the kids and playing basketball.
Jamie, tell us a little bit about some of the different programs and experiences the clubs offer to kids like Ben.
So we have a wide variety through different partnerships throughout the community, including the Cox Cares program. And so we have tech centers at all of our locations. We have gymnasiums, which offer basketball and athletic support. We have Power Hour, which is an after-school tutoring program. We also do a lot in character development and leadership. So we have Passport to Manhood, Smart Girls, all kinds of things to really dive into the kids' needs and interests in our communities.
Which leads me to my next question. Ben, I hear you are the 2016 Youth of the Year.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that award?
So wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, what led you to being the Youth of the Year?
So basically I've been attending the club for a while now, and what Jamie told me is that she basically told me that the club basically chose me to be the role model for some of the kids at the club, and not just for my club but across the county. And so my reaction at first was like, wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what do you want to do after high school?
I was planning on studying kinesiology and hopefully becoming a physical therapist.
And do you feel like your experience at the club has led you to that line of work?
Yeah, because of all the athletics that have been going on there, it's helped me a lot.
So Ben's been a great support in helping us with our younger athletic programs and assisting if we need refs or score clocks or coaches, and just kind of serving as a role model. The first time I really met Ben, he was just, can I come play basketball in your gym? And just would cheat around. And so we're really lucky to have him, growing up in the club now and being a role model to our younger kids that are kind of going through the same things through middle school and stuff.
So Jamie, that leads me to another great question. I know you've been involved with the clubs for a very long time. So what is the biggest benefit to the kids coming through the clubs?
There's a lot of things. Again, we really focus on character and leadership now. So, building kids like Ben up and, letting them know there are options after high school and supporting them and getting to those options. And the Youth of the Year program is great because he's competing actually regionally. And if he's selected regionally, then he can go on to a national level and they get full rides to college. They get to meet the president. There's a lot of perks with, and even just, locally, his recognition and being able to talk about what the clubs mean to him is probably the best thing that I see getting out of it.
How has the experience been since you won the award?
It's been kind of stressful at first, but I've been able to work around it with the help of my family, and it's been really nice with their support. Yeah.
That's great. So Jamie, if you had one message for Santa Barbara County teens watching today, what would that be?
That we're a fun place to be even for teens. A lot of us think of us as an after-school program for younger kids, and we're open late nights for teens at all of our locations. We're open till 8 p.m. and on Friday nights we're open till 10, so it's a safe place. They get to hang out, play Xbox, chill with their friends. We have healthy constraints, but we're not telling them necessarily what they can and can't do, so it's nice.
And Ben, what would you add to that? What do you want to tell your friends about the clubs?
Just give your best effort, I think, and that's always what my dad's told me, so that's what I would tell them.
And Jamie, in our final moment, for folks who want to get more involved with the Boys and Girls Club, where should they go? What should they do?
So there's multiple ways. We have a new website launching soon, which is very exciting, so they can visit our website. Or they can call our office, and again, we have 9 locations across the county, so we always need volunteers or financial assistance or whatever they're able to give.
That's great. Well, thank you both for being here today and for all of your involvement in the community.
Thank you.
And thank you. Until next time, this is Community Connection.